Shepard, bringing you another video. And today we're looking at the Telltale Games website under the jobs. Why? And is Solid Shepard trying to get a job at Telltale Games? No, not really. We're looking at okay. First of all, I found this on Twitter. Just a preface. We found this on Twitter, and we're gonna go over what's wrong. You can probably tell by the title of the video, but I'm gonna try and go in this a little bit organically here. So as we see, it's the job for the creative director, right? A creative director for BioWare. Got a little apply button here, and we got a summary here. Our creative director leads, manages the members and team, blah blah blah. There doesn't seem to be anything really wrong here. Best in class episode of games. They got responsibilities here. Partners with the executive producer, directs the episode directors, writers, and designers, leads an extended team, assists in the recruitment effort to the best talent in each area, mentors and develops, fosters collaborative and successful working partnerships, participates with senior management. Essential skills, at least, 7 years of experience. Okay, we can see that, including, in-game narrative design, including 4 or more years in a senior role. Understandable. No problem there with that. Must have multi-platform experience. I can see that because a lot of their games go on phones, and you can also get them in the PlayStation Store. You can get them on Xbox, and you can download them on PC, usually in Steam. So, not a big there. BABS or equivalent in relevant work experience. Okay, you need work experience, obviously, to direct people who have work experience. Demonstrated experience and understanding of episodic games. Once again, Telltale's games is episodic, so that makes sense. Must be an avid gamer. Okay, I like that. I actually really like that. You want gamers making games. Where a lot of these companies get into trouble is they focus too much on the business side and not enough on just making a fun game. Especially in a lot of AAA ones that end up falling flat on their face suffer from this, and it's noticeable. Must have successfully developed and managed people, delivering content on time, and okay, makes sense. I think they're asking a lot here because they're not as big of a studio as others. But okay, prior experience working with movie-based or franchise IPs earns you bonus points because obviously they have Game of Thrones, Batman, The Walking Dead's their big one. That makes sense. Candidates must be authorized to work and accept new employment in the United States. Telltale Games isn't here. This isn't problematic by itself, but it has to do with what we're about to talk about here. Telltale Games is an equal opportunity employer and ADA compliant. Okay, once again, I said this isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't think, in and of itself, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. They want to promote equality as far as opportunity goes. But with a lot of these things that we see in today's world, usually it's not equal opportunity. It's equality of outcome. And we're about to get in that here. Where did I find this? Why am I here? Well, I found this on the Twitter, right here, from Jennifer Surely? I don't know how to say her last name. That's weird. I don't want to butcher her anymore. So, basically, it's at Gailme, which that's not even any easier. Why are you picking such hard? I mean, you didn't pick your name obviously, but you could have picked a better at there. I don't know. Anyways, Telltale is looking for more female, all caps, and then she's got an explanation point. Applicants for this awesome creative director job. Heart, hashtag, game dev jobs. Go. What? I mean, let's just take a little bit of a trip, if you will, with me. Let's imagine if that said male in an explanation point. What do you think the reaction would be, especially from her or any kind of feminist? what do you think the reaction would be? If they said white, only white developers, what do you think the would be? And the biggest thing is, why is female a qualification? We didn't see it on the other one, but that's probably like their standard application. That, you go to a store, for instance, and you pick up an application, they're all standard. It's probably just not BioWare. I've been doing so much stuff thinking so much about BioWare's debacles, and I got it stuck on the brain. That's just Telltale's application, standard application. But here we go, having someone saying only female. Why does that matter? Is my question. And if you are a female looking at it in the games, how would you not feel a certain kind of way if you only got a job because they weren't accepting any applications from men? I don't know. All around, that kind of seems fucked up to me. And this is another instance of feminism trying to creep its way into gaming. And this is, first it was comic books, and now it's becoming prevalent in gaming. First it seemed to just be with Mass Effect Andromeda, and to another extent, the Dragon Age with BioWare, which I already talked about. I'll probably do a video covering that on its own at some point. But this just caught my eye. I had to make a video about it. Like, we got it now here and then on another company. Like, how far is this going to go? It's already a big issue of Marvel. Anyways, let's get down here. Her very first tweet we see. I'm assuming that she pinned it. I don't know if you can pin tweets. I'm not an expert on Twitter. Anyways, and please don't be a dick. Right, because only guys can be annoying, right? Like last time when I asked for specifically female applicants and apply when you're a guy. Seriously. Okay. Do you know how bigoted that sounds? Like, once again, let's reverse the roles a little bit here. Okay, and let's read it again with the roles reversed. And please don't be a bitch like last time when I asked for specifically male applicants and apply when you're a woman. Seriously. Or, and please don't be a dick like last time when I asked for specifically white applicants and apply when you're black. Seriously. Like, do you see the issue here? Racism, sexism, all of that, it's not mutually exclusive to one group or one set of groups. It applies for all people, especially if you really care about equality. It applies for all people. And if you're going to get offended if someone says something about a woman or a black person or an Asian person or a Hispanic person, the rules are still apply when you're talking about men or any kind of white person, any kind of Caucasian. The double standard, the hypocrisy here is just amazing. And she deserves any flack she's getting for this. And then this is about as far as I've gone to the research of it. Kind of just wanted, I got the gist up to this point. And if you're wondering where I found this, it was actually Alpha Omega Sin tweeted about it. And I kind of nudge, hey, make a great video idea, right? Because he hasn't made any videos in a while. But he's still a good follow on Twitter, Alpha Omega Sin, if you want to follow him. And then he's working on his game room walkthrough video where he's going to show off all his goodies. And then after that, he said he's basically getting back into making videos regularly. So subscribe to him on YouTube too. He's a great subscription. I can't recommend him enough. It's just he has been kind of silent for a while. Anyways, back to the video. We'll look at one more. One more reply. Let's see what Memory Holiday has to say. Need I remind you, it's illegal to discriminate applicants on the basis of gender/sex in Australia. So I guess I really don't know that much about Telltale games. I guess they're based out of Australia. But obviously, I mean, this isn't just in Australia. This is relevant in America too, the United States, and I assume any other, first world country, Western, civilization. You're not supposed to discriminate at all. Anyways, let's see what it's got here. That's a little big. Can we zoom? I don't think so. Okay, let's just read what we can get from this a little bit. Labor organization, ILO, Convention 156, its major objectives are to promote equality between men and women. Once again, we got equality here, but whenever we talk about equality, real equality is equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. Obviously, when you have one side and another side in a market, in a free market, one that's not regulated heavily, you're going to have one side naturally that will be above the other. It's never going to be a perfect 50-50 split. It's just never going to naturally happen that way. That doesn't mean there's a problem. That's just the way it is. Likely, eventually, the balance will shift, and then the group that was ahead will be behind, and then that's just kind of naturally how it happens. And we see that happen a lot. Feminists try to say like it doesn't happen a lot, but like for instance in job markets, you see a lot of professions where that's not the case, where women actually dominate and they actually make more money than men. It's just feminists like to focus on the ones where men do make more because those tend to be the ones that are higher paying, because those are the one they don't like to focus on, which is the biggest one that causes the balance when you look at the whole thing overall, is like labor jobs. Labor jobs, they pay a pretty good amount of money, especially when you're looking at the average man or an average woman, because they're high risk. They have, there has to be an incentive to do those jobs. And they're in high demand. It's a job you can't outsource. You have to be in that area in order to do it. And so they get good money. But women aren't willing to work down in sewers, or, not all, but for the most part, women aren't willing to do those jobs. And then another thing is, whenever you take account women who get pregnant, women who have kids, like, they like to spend more time with their kids than they do necessarily in the workplace, whereas men tend to do more. And once again, that's not the case for all women. There are career women out there who decided to take their career over everything else, and they never really got in a relationship like that. But those women are in the minority statistically. I'm not discriminating. No one whenever they say this, when you hear Sargon of Akkad say stuff like this, or Bering, or any of them, it's not discrimination, people. It's just the facts. It's more women decide that their time off is more important than men. It's just the way it's the way it is. Even if you are doing so with women in mind, this is not how women get equality, especially in tech. Encourage, yes. Discriminate, no. Once again, a good point. Let's see what she said. Evidently, women tend to apply less for lead positions, but I can assure you that this Telltale office has a great culture and other women. Well, then why do you need to forcefully do something like this to put women above men if this isn't an issue with your company? That's the question I have right there. Because diversity of ideas and creativity doesn't matter. Only diversity of gender. Once again, a great point. Okay, I'm not... Yeah, he makes some great points there. As a female dev, so not right for this position anyway. This squicks me out. Hire me for my skills. But my genitals? Oh, let's see how she responds to another woman. It's not about hiring a woman. It's about having more female applicants to begin with. No, Jennifer. No, that is not what you said. Let's go back up here. Looking for more female. Okay, well, I guess she does. It said more. But at the same time, she says, and please don't be a dick like last time when I asked for specifically female applicants and apply when you're just a guy. You're literally trying to push only for women to apply. That is literally what you're getting at here. Your first tweet after response to after you tweeted this was that, and you kind of highlighted female. No, you're trying to only get female applicants. Don't bullshit here. Right, more female applicants with the specific hope of hiring a woman. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yes, there is something wrong with that. If I have a project where I feel like a woman with her collective experiences would fit, I would do that. You're right. But you don't exclude the men who could also have that collective experiences, which is what you're trying to do here. People are hired for the entirety of their person. Okay, let me just finish the tweet before I get to that. Beyond only their technical skills, if I feel like a woman would suit my team more. What? You're hiring based off of personality? I mean, I guess if two people are like, if I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I got this person, I got this person. They got the same years of experience, they got the same education, they got the same success. Once I get to that point, then I start looking at personality more. But personalities should not be a deciding factor. And then you're also trying to say, what, do women have one personality? All women have one personality and all men have another personality? What are you getting at here? It's pretty sexist, if you ask me. Are you saying if I feel a woman, as in an individual woman I meet in an interview, or women fit my team better, limits of 140 characters? Yeah, you gotta love Twitter with that 140 character limit. Maybe they'll get rid of that one day. I mean, Facebook seems to do great without a character limit. I'm just saying. It's pretty much the same freaking thing. If I'm hiring and I feel like a woman with her entirety of skills and experience as a woman would suit my team better, I would hire as a woman. At what? What does her experience as a woman have anything to do with the job? I don't get it. Men are literally hired for this all the time. I don't know what freaks people out about this and why everybody assumes no, men aren't. No, men aren't hired because of that. Men are hired because they make up the vast majority of hardcore gamers, which is who usually you're trying to sell a video game to. Men are hired more because they're hardcore gamers, and just like, okay, let's go over here, back over here. Where was it? Must be an avid gamer and play games across genres and platforms. Who is going to fit that bill? The majority. Statistically speaking, who is the vast majority that's going to fit that bill? It's going to be men. I'm just saying, it's going to be men. There are women who do fit that bill. But percentage-wise, they're less. But there are women. And guess what? We have you, Jennifer, and then we have Christine here. Okay? There are women in the field. There's just not as much because of the percentages. Because that's how numbers work. Because I want to know I'm being hired for the content of my brain, and not the content of my panties. How is that wrong? It's ridiculous to assume that a professional company would jeopardize their creative director position by hiring you for only being female. But that's what you're trying to do, Jennifer. There is nothing wrong with the hiring you for being the right person for the job, but viewing your life experience as a woman as valuable. Okay, once again, I ask, if I really, after I'm done here, I might even tweet at her and just ask this. You know what? We're going to do it right now. We're going to do it live on video, folks. We're going to do it live on video. Okay, we're going to do this live on video. What does experience as a woman? Am I wording that right? Okay, now we're gonna reword that. How is experience as a woman valuable for making video games? Nothing sinister here. I'm just asking a legit question. Anyways, let's continue. People hire people for their entire experience. I prefer hiring a female writer for a female character, for example. Why? There are plenty of female writers in comic books, for instance, who write for male lead books. And they're great. They are great. There's great, some of the best writers, wrote female comics. That has nothing to do with it. It's your creative ability, right? To create a great story and great character development that causes that. Some of the strongest women in TV right now are on Game of Thrones. And guess who Game of Thrones was written by? It was written by George R. R. Martin, a man. And it's directed by two men. The show itself is directed by two men. So what do you... What? Come on now. There's so many examples that contradict what you have to say. And yes, of course that person also needs to have the skill for it. I don't know where this weird anxiety comes from. It's not anxiety, it's just the truth, Jennifer. It's just the truth. Okay? Like, I don't know. So you're saying you're not going to hire a man just because he has experience as a man in his life instead of as a woman? What if he's more qualified than the woman? Are you still going to hire the woman just because she has experience as a woman? What if there's a transgender person? What if there's someone who used to be a woman but is now a man but has experience as both, but is a man now? Are you going to hire them? What if they apply? Are you going to snub them? Like, it's just stupid. This whole thing is stupid. I hate identity politics. I'll try to explain by, would you be okay with someone focusing on the male experience as a big factor in hiring for a leadership position? Exactly. No, because that's sexist, apparently. I love this guy's profile picture, too. It's fucking awesome. A little derpy link there. 7 years of experience? How can we ever get experience in the industry if every job requires 5+ years of a previous experience? Well, I mean, that one really doesn't bother me that much because there's entry-level positions that you can get in the video games in any job that you can get 5 years. You're not gonna apply for a top position job right off the bat in any field. If you don't fit the bill 100%, but you think you could do the job, apply anyways. What? Wait. If you don't fit the prereqs for the job, but you're a woman, go ahead and apply anyways, because you're a woman. Okay. I would love to work for Telltale. They truly make incredible games. It would be amazing to be a part of it all. I mean, I honestly don't know her expertise, but it's just her response. Like, she doesn't either. For all we know, this is someone that's trying to make a point. Just like Christine up here. And she's just saying, go ahead and apply. Worst case that can happen is that you get a rejection, but I would definitely try smile. So she's being so nice to her. You're absolutely right. Thank you for the encouragement. Go you, get them. Good luck. Who's them? That's what who is them? Is it men? Yeah, someone's being an asshole going super fast outside. Hopefully my microphone doesn't pick that up. I'm totally in favor of female creative directors, but isn't this a discriminatory announcement? As in not legal? Bingo. Asking for more female applicants to choose from is not... No, but you didn't. You said don't apply if you're a man. Those were your own words. No, but discriminating potential applicants by screening specifically for women and asking men not to apply is. Exactly. Cool, as an employer, that's good to hear. Sexist, definitely, buddy. It doesn't say they're looking for specifically female applicants, or if it does, I missed it. Well, it doesn't say it on their actual application, and she doesn't necessarily say it, even though she hints at it in her initial tweet, but then her follow-up tweet, she does say it. Like, Jennifer wrote to not even apply if you're male, so yes, they don't want men. Is she with Telltale? I would assume she is. We'll check. After I get done reading these tweets, we'll check. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of this is just too good. She would like to apply. I can vouch for her. She does a great job. What the fuck is this shit? If only I had the experience. Good luck finding a person and a heart to the person who gets it. Great to see. I hope whoever they hire does a good job. I mean, that would only be good for video games. For more good video games, good people working on to be made. But this just isn't the way. In fairness, the job application says nothing about wanting more female applicants unless you work for them. Not sure where you got it. Probably because she does work for them and she's wanting people more And I want more female voices. Talent over quotas, though. But there are female voices. There's great female voices out there. I mean, here's the thing is it depends on what the character of the game is. Don't you think? And they're going to only scout people who are good. So for every female character out there on a good game, which there are a lot, people, there's not as many as men, but there are a lot of women in gaming, and there's a lot of good voice actors doing them. Is it Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer Hale. Yeah, the one who did Commander Shepard, the female version, and she also voice acted Sniper Wolf. And I know she's been in other games. She's one of the best voice actors there is. Not even talking about gender or anything. Like, what are you talking about? Is there a particular reason that this job is only open to women? Well, it's not, but she's trying to sway people. You're hiring based on genitals, not skill. Kind of not. But that's not the point. Is she's trying to tell men, don't do it. Don't apply to my company. Assuming she works for them. Gender or race should never be a factor in a job. I have seen your replies. I have to ask, why exactly are you asking for women specifically? You say a woman and her collective experience would fit it. But what specifically? Yeah. And why do you think a man cannot bring it? Would a feminine man be able to take the job? A cuck. Would a cuck be able to take the job? Probably not, because he's got a dick. No wonder the quality went to hell after Walking Dead Season 1. I've only played Season 1. I haven't played Season 2, so I can't really vouch for this. But the site says nothing about being female applying anyway. You're my dude, man. You're my bro. Why do you have to bring gender into it? Isn't it illegal to dismiss someone based on gender? I love how she's not responding to any of these. She's responding to the women, guys. She's responding to the women's. Wording irks me. I wouldn't ever want to be hired because I have a vag, but I can see how my female perspective could be valuable too. No, it can't. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, I could understand if it was a game about a woman, kind of, because I've already kind of debunked this, but and you were a writer, right? You were doing just writing. I can understand that, but kind of a little bit, maybe it would help a little bit. But it's not like a man can't get the same quality just through some research and some creative thinking. Except that it is about getting more female applicants in the first place, not for hiring a woman by default. Once again, that's not what you said. That is not what you are implying. You are backtracking right now. Am I the only one who sees the stupidity in this? You should be hired because of your skills, not because of your gender. Okay, we're going to skip this guy because he pretty much is saying everything. Yeah, she didn't reply to him. As a black guy who play y'all game. This actually kind of bothers me sometimes. Like, I understand if you've got an accent or a speech impediment or what have you, you talk like that, that's fine, but you're not talking right now. You are typing. There is no reason for your grammar to be terrible like this when you are typing. Rant over. Anyways, as a black guy who play y'all game, if whoever y'all pick can stop that BS, your choice don't matter at the end. I'm with it. I'm going to pretend I understand what he's getting at. But, yeah, Game of Thrones and Batman were bullshit. I don't know. I did that episode 1 of Batman. I told myself I was going to get around to doing more Let's Play. I probably will eventually. But, I mean, I enjoyed it. Game of Thrones was alright. None of them were as good as that first Walking Dead, but this is literally sexist, though, and non-legal. Once again, non-legal is kind of whatever, because it might have just been her wording. Unless she's the one doing the hiring, then you people could look into it. But the sexist part, definitely. Even if she's trying to get more women hired, it's still sexist. Sex and race should not have a place anywhere in the decision process of anything, regardless of your reasoning. It should, if I had it my way, the person who's hiring, I would take the applications together, the people who submitted it, and then I'd put them in the back and then give them numbers, and then make a new application and only put a number on there, right? And then just have their, their experience and all that. Just have the application, but they can't see a name or gender or race or any of that. And then have the hirer pick the number that they want for the position. And then the person goes back and then takes the number, matches it to who it was, and they hire that person. That way there was no discrimination involved at all. None whatsoever. It was all just because of their merits. This here, however, is the wrong way to go about it. And there we go. As you can see, like I said, Alpha Omega Sin, definitely give him a follow. He's great. But I definitely got this from him. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, and if you haven't already subscribe if you want to. As always, this has been Solid Shepard. Until next time, I should go.